What's good? What's good? What's poppin', everybody? And welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Hearts channel, where we focus on healing, humor, and hot topics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is my favorite segment of the channel. Let's get it going. This segment of the channel focuses on healing. So I know you guys know that a lot of times when I'm on my YouTube channel, I'm doing a lot of assisting other folks, and making some better decisions, making better choices, reevaluating things, and trying to keep their life in order to some degree, right? Just by giving out my advice and giving some feedback, right? So I know a lot of times for me it can feel like you always having something to say about what somebody else got going on or what somebody else is doing, but it doesn't give me the opportunity to share with you guys what I have going on and some of the things that I need to reevaluate, self-reflect on, so on and so forth. So I started this segment called Damn Dijah, right? And Damn Dijah is dedicated to me sharing with you guys some of the healing that I'm doing on my healing journey, how I get started, how I make the transformation, how the transformation is going, and also sharing some tips to see if maybe it'll work for some of you guys. You can learn from it, so on and so forth. So let's get into it, right? This segment of Dear Dijah is a little personal, but like I said, they're all personal to my journey. It's just, this involves family members, so that's a little crazy for me. In any event, I won't be sharing the family members' names, because what I'm also learning on my journey is, as a content creator, is not everything and everyone is content, right? Okay, so let's get on with it. Growing up, I grew up with a big family. I grew up with my mom, my dad, my siblings, my cousins, aunts, uncles, so on and so forth. And there are some people in my family that are very, very close to me, right? So meaning these are people that I can see outside of my immediate family on an everyday basis. All right, so you know how you have a cousin who comes over to your house every day, or you go over to that cousin's house every day. It's like that type of situation. I have some family members that are not my immediate family, but they are family members that I see every day that raise me, so on and so forth. And two of the main characters in my life, they were people with very strong personalities. Now let me pause right there, because I know y'all looking at the screen right now like, I'm sorry, what were they? Because I think you need to ask yourself, bitch, what are you, right? Trust me, I get it. As a matter of fact, I feel like I adopted some of my character traits and my strong personality from the folks around me, right? But in any event, like I said, these two individuals that I would see outside my immediate family, they have some very strong personalities, right? And the thing about women and strong personalities is it can also be viewed as, if a woman has a strong personality, it can be viewed as a woman is a bitch, right? So to speak, folks might tend to feel like, when you are assertive, and you say what you feel, and you speak in a tone with confidence, you speak with a tone of confidence, but also an air of, like I said, just being able to verbalize some things that other folks may kind of, refrain from talking about, withdraw from. It can make folks look at you a certain way because they like, you're a little strong. And that can also be viewed as being a bitch, right? For me, I have been around some women with strong personalities. What I saw when I was very young about women with strong personalities, especially because these were the people that I would see on a daily because they damn near raised me, is I feel like back then, I didn't have an issue with the strong personality. I had an issue with what was being shared with me and the delivery in which it was being shared. So I don't mind if, back then, I didn't mind if you tell me what you feel and how you feel, but if you're also telling me in the sense that you're criticizing me or trying to belittle me, I can't really receive what you're saying. Excuse me, guys. I can't really receive what you're saying because the way it's being delivered, right? So I realized from a very young age that type of delivery is a trigger for me. If I encounter a woman that has a strong personality and their delivery is off, if I view it as off, it doesn't have to mean it necessarily is, but if I view it as such, meaning it has a tinge of an attitude, something that's said with a certain facial expression, something that's said very nasty, something that's said almost to criticize, it can make me get in my feelings because it's a trigger for me. It's a reminder of the folks that I grew up around. And when I was younger, growing up around these people, they were older than me. So in that regard, I didn't have the opportunity to be like, don't talk to me that way, or I didn't like what you said. No, my family was, if an older person told you to do something, whether you liked it or not, you did it. If an older person gave you some feedback, whether you like it or not, you took it in. That's just the way it went in my family. So I felt like when I was younger, I just had to take what was being given to me because I couldn't dare have a rebuttal about it. And also, on top of me having to deal with it, it was something that I didn't like and it was a trigger for me. Right? So when I got of a certain age, I became combative. I became very combative with those individuals because I felt like, it's not fair. It's not fair for you to be able to say what you want to me and for me to just sit here and take it because you're so-and-so and you're such and such and so on and so forth, right? I think my mantra has always been, and it is to this day, which is why I have a beautiful relationship working with young people. It does not matter what position or role you play, whether you're the mother, the father, the cat, the dog, the aunt, the uncle, you are a person and all people have feelings. So I never subscribe to the whole because I'm older than you or because I know more than you or because I'm in a certain position in your life, like say if I'm your aunt, I should be able to say what I want to you or about you because of that. No, because at the end of the day, whether I'm your aunt, your mom, or whatever the case may be, I'm still another person just as you're a person and all people have feelings. So like I said, when I got of a certain age, I wouldn't become disrespectful, but I was combative. So I would try to low-key challenge those people, but not in a disrespectful way because I didn't want to get in trouble. Right? So if they said something to me that I didn't like, I would say something back sarcastic, but with a very nice tone. And it also would be a fact of what I'm saying. It's just a matter of they felt I had no business saying it because you're this person and I'm that person. You shouldn't be talking back to me or giving me no facts or anything under the sun. But again, I was doing so because I didn't like what they were saying and I was triggered by these things, right? So now fast forward to teenage and young adult life, right? In teenage and adult life, I started to encounter more women. I had a female clique from when I was young. Since like 11, 12 years old, I always hung out with a lot of women when I was younger, right? And I remember that I was always viewed as a like argumentative one out the crew because anytime that somebody said something to me that I felt was nasty or disrespectful, I'm combating them tooth and nail. And at that time, these people are my peers. So I don't have to have as much respect for you as I did for those family members. So I'm giving it to you. Boom, 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 right? And it will cause folks to either A, retreat in their shell because they don't want to deal with my nasty attitude, or B, it will cause them to be combative back with me. And sometimes this stuff even led into physical altercations. And for me, I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down because I know I'm right. I know what I'm saying is right. And I know I can be nastier than you. I learned from the best. So I got into so many verbal altercations. And the rumor about me in having those verbal altercations was that I went low. Right? So be like, you don't want to argue with Dijah because she will shred you. And Dijah goes low. And I did because what I felt was I was being disrespectful. And now because I feel that way, I have to now try to defend myself. And the only way I know I was to hurt you because now I'm hurt. So this went on for years and years and years and years and years, right? I got into arguments with people or I said things about people, and I mean, it was some of the nastiest and vile things I could think of because you hurt me, so now let me say something to hurt you. That's right. Anyway, fast forward, because that was the rumor about me. When I started Operation Heal 100 Hearts, I only started working with other people after I had already worked on myself. Once again, I was doing the work 2 years before I started working with other people, right? And the only reason why I started doing the work with other people is because I felt like, wow, I got down to the nitty gritty of why my attitude was so nasty and why I was being so disrespectful to people and why those things triggered me, which was more important. So now since I was able to do so, I don't have to be so nasty and disrespectful. And I also don't have to take it so personal when other women have strong personalities. I can try to help other people. Some people looked at me and said, what? When they found out what I was doing, they was like, who's doing that? No. I won't be, no. I will not be taking any advice from that bitch. right? Because again, they remember all of the things I've said and done either to them or other people. Because I mean, at that point, I could be so nasty that if you are standing in the vicinity of me and the other person's debate, you might could get third party offended because some of the things that I said. That's how I know it was like, come on, Khadijah, you don't have to be that way. And once again, it never made me feel good to be that way, but I also felt like to some degree I was defending myself up against being hurt. Right, so anywho, like I said, I started the Healing Hearts journey, and people was like, no, I'm not dealing with that because ain't no she changed. I remember that bitch said, boom, 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 boom. She's nasty, she's disrespectful. I don't want to deal with it. So a lot of people didn't support my business because they felt it was BS, right? But that didn't deter me because I knew that what I was doing was sincere from the heart, and I knew that I really changed because I really healed. So I continued on doing my business, right? What I didn't factor in was that even though I'm on the healing journey, and I want to say this to folks, the healing journey is just that, the healing journey. In my opinion, when you put the ED on it, that means life for you is over. That's just my opinion. I feel like healing is ongoing. So for me, I'm not completely healed yet. And one thing that I recognize now, and I am 12 years on a healing journey with myself, and 10 years this July on the Operation Heal 100 Hearts journey of helping other folks. But what I did kind of forget for a minute or two until it's reared its ugly head is that women with strong personalities, depending upon their delivery, is still a trigger for me. Let me say that again. Women with strong personalities, depending on their delivery, is still a trigger for me. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I realize how much of a hindrance it is with me now as a full-blown adult in business. A lot of places that I go and I encounter women with strong personalities, and from what I assess, poor delivery, I automatically check out. Because I don't want to appear violent and I don't want to disrespect you back and revert to my old ways, I check out of even engaging with you. Because in my opinion, I don't want you to trigger me. And I realized that so many places I go, I lose the opportunity to build relationships because of something someone else did. And when I looked around at it and thought about how much further I could be, not only in my business, but in my life, if I actually tried to build more relationships, I was kind of disappointed in myself. Because I'm like, come on, Khadijah, like, you claim that you're healing and you're doing all this self-work, but really and truly, if you're being honest, how are you doing the work when you're avoiding all of the people that will force you to show that you're doing the work? And like I said, what I do is I do avoid women with strong personalities and poor deliveries because I often tell myself that that's a trigger for me and I do not want to revert back to the old me. When I keep forgetting that, Khadijah, you have control over that and you do not have to revert back to the old you. You could actually work on rising in that occasion and showing that you are healing and doing the work. But I find myself at an impasse because I honestly still have that sad, and it really and truly, that's what it is. It's a sad feeling when I encounter it or when I allow it to happen, right? So I'll give you an example. Say if I go into a space and again, I encounter a woman with a very strong personality and something she had to say to me, her delivery was poor. If I still engage the woman in a nice manner and the person's delivery is still very poor to me, once I have left from that space, I feel sad. I either feel like I want to cry because I want to fuck that bitch up, or I feel like, you there allowing somebody to be disrespectful to you. Why? And I don't know how to divorce the feeling of, Khadijah, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with that other person. You're taking it personal because that's a trigger for you. And granted, let me say this, because I know some people will look at the video and say, well, what if the person is really being nasty? I'm not denying that they really are. I'm not denying that they really are, but that means that they have their own issues. And I need to factor that in. But what I don't need to do is take it so personal and get so upset when they're just moving the way they know how. I just have to continue to do the things that I know how and that I should be doing. And one of the things that I should be doing is healing and growing and getting better on this journey. And if I'm still acting how I acted when I was 16 years old, at 42 years old, when I encounter these type of people, then Khadijah, are you really doing the work? And Khadijah, also, are you doing the work if you're avoiding even interacting with those type of people so you don't have to have that encounter, so you don't know how you would act within it? So I'm really been struggling with this bad, right? And in recent events, in recent times, events have taken place where I feel like I've lost the struggle. Because either A, I'm now looking at the person and I'm ready to spit venom on them, or B, I retreat into a shell and I don't engage that person at all. And my silence is 10 million times louder than anything I could ever scream at you. When I am quiet, it speaks volumes. So folks know when I don't like them or when I don't want to engage them. And that's an uncomfortable feeling for everybody. Trust me, I know. So guys, I need to really work on this because, you know, I want my business to flourish and grow. I want to be able to lead as the example of what that looks like. I don't want to be going around talking about, hey, come get your Healing Heart sessions. Hey, come write your Dear Dijah letters. Meanwhile, Khadijah, you avoiding doing the work for yourself. No, I really want to work through this. And I definitely want to work through it because I recognize it. I know it's something that I'm doing. Right? I just have to get better on what that looks like doing the work. I also have to get better with avoiding people when I don't want to do the work, because that's also not doing the work, and that's not what's supposed to happen. So when I thought about that and I thought about the BS I'm on, I said, damn, Dijah, you on some bullshit again. But I know that there is things that will come up throughout my journey that will be hard for me. But as long as I continue to push through and don't give up, I can manage them as best I can. I just have to keep trying. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Drop down in the comment sections. Can any of you relate to this? Does this sound familiar to any of you guys? Also, if you know me personally, have you ever encountered this side of me? Do you only know the healing side of me? Like, you know, does this sound familiar to you now that I've shared this with you? Do you have some tips that you might want to help me in order to work on how I receive certain women and how I engage them and what I could do not to avoid them? And I take all feedback. Like I tell you guys, you drop down in the comment sections. I do not debate and I do not delete. I welcome it all because I'm always giving it. Right? So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to drop this Dear Dijah for you guys because like I said, I know I come up here and talk so much about what others should and shouldn't do and give my advice and opinion about other people's lives, but sometimes I need some assistance as well. And I didn't only start this channel up to help other people. I also started up my channel because sometimes I need help. Alrighty, so thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get those notifications. And I hope to see you guys soon with more damn Dijahs, or not, right? Because they don't always represent the best side of me, but I don't mind sharing all sides of me. It's what I'm here for. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your day. I hope I was recording. Oh, thank you, Jesus.